After our tragedy over the weekend with Eeyore's foal, who died only a day old, Eeyore appreciates her mum Nell's support and is asking her to be groomed a lot these days. This seems to reassure her and help her get over her loss. Farming can be a bit of a roller coaster, and as it happened, only a day after Eeyore's baby's death, Martha gave birth to 2 healthy little lambs. Our dogs just seemed to be drawn to cute babies. Both Trudy and Turnip could hardly resist licking their little faces, and I had to ask them to step back and give Martha and her lambs some personal space. I discovered that Eeyore had been watching in the background. I have no idea really what goes on in her head, but I would understand if this scene of motherly bliss makes her even more miserable. Poor Eeyore. We are having great dry weather here at the moment, so our sheep family can go out into the fresh air for a while every day. Our sheep are quite fragile creatures, unlike the tougher mountain sheep, and especially little lambs can get hypothermia very quickly, so we are careful. Harriet should be due with her lambs in another few days. Because we only have a few of each sort of animal here on our farm, we can get to know them really well. Everyone has their little quirks. Alex likes being hand-fed every morning. Cloudy, our doe, had her first lot of babies recently, but with baby rabbits one has to be quite patient. Best to leave them in the tight, warm nest Cloudy made for them until they are ready themselves to come out. A sure sign of early spring is the length of Henry's and Flora's moustaches. They keep growing all winter, and this is the longest they usually get. As soon as the horses go out into the field to eat grass, they lose them because they use their lips when picking the grass. It looks quite tricky eating with such a moustache and keeping your mouth reasonably clean. And not dropping too much food out of your mouth either. But we have many helpers to clear up the mess. Of course, the amount our animals eat can be a bit worrying in these uncertain times. With our income dropped because no one is allowed to come to the farm for riding sessions. But we sure will muddle through somehow. Apparently, the German channel is remonetized. That would be brilliant news. But we'll have to wait to be sure though. Especially with the grass starting to grow faster, there are many places where the donkeys and sheep can have a substantial meal already. The horses aren't quite allowed out into the field because it is still too wet for their heavy hoofs. And even when there isn't quite enough grass, there are other delicatessen one will find at this time of year. Spring blossoms and leaves everywhere. Our Mehel group helped us finish the fence around Sam's wood to keep it safe. And it is such a beautiful place now that the leaves are coming out and buds are bursting open. And not only the outdoors is full of lovely signs of spring, there are some in our kitchen too, yummy ones. Both Trudy and Turnip spend the night in their kennel so that they don't get into any trouble during the night. Trudy especially is giving me her bestest smiles every morning when I open the gate again.
Hi, Turnip. Trudy.
I am embarrassed to say that I have spent some ridiculous money on squeaky dog toys, only to find them destroyed after 3 minutes in the dog's possession. Simplicity is best. An old discarded rope keeps them both entertained for hours and days and weeks, and it is pretty indestructible too. Trudy's favourite job is still guarding the place from above, in all weathers it seems. Turnip just messes around all day, but then he's only 9 months old. And when he can't be found anywhere messing, we just look anywhere near the other animals' pens. He is very sociable, and difference in size and looks doesn't matter to him as long as he has company. Airedales are rather confident dogs who would run the place if we let them. So one of the first things they learn here is to be good around dinner time. Turnip, the puppy he is, still gets fed twice a day. Turnip eat? But Trudy and Annie as grown-up dogs only once, so Trudy had to learn to watch him eat. But she knows she's getting a small treat from me anyways. And so does Annie, of course.
Another one.
Some nights are still very icy here. But the weather has been wonderfully dry, perfect for making great progress on our barn roof. Thanks to Tim's hard work as a skilled roofer. This corner of the barn will be a small glass house, but Tim will tell you all about it in one of our next videos.